So greetings everyone and welcome to Powertime practice here on Saturday the 17th of February 2018. My name is Sucharita, welcoming everyone here who has been joining for the past few months, and then also those of you who jumped over from Sundays with Sucharita for the past several years, so that we can join in every week a discussion, a meditation, and shared experiences about being on this path with Dr. Pillai. It is a high path, it's a fast path, it's a fun path, it's everything in between path. And sometimes it's confusing, and sometimes it's emotional, and sometimes we feel like we're out of control. Well, welcome to the spiritual path. It doesn't matter who you're studying with, the spirit moves you. It doesn't want to stay still. So it's going to shake things up. So if it's going to do that anyways, and we can't predict what our future is going to be, even if we did predict, even if we do know, maybe through an astrology consultation or through Nadi astrology, what lies ahead in our lives, there's different choices that we are going to make as our life rolls out. And then the divine is always going to decide when things are going to happen. So really, do we know our future? Are we so sure that things are going to happen and roll out the way we want them to? We plan, we make all these arrangements, we do the right thing, and still there are these, what was that? So many of us enjoyed a wonderful trip to India in the past couple of weeks, and I apologize to everyone here who was looking forward to Powertime practice last weekend. I was in India and not able to do it, so we're going to make up for it today, and that's how we roll with Dr. Pillai. So please know that everything happens in divine timing, and it was unexpected for me to stay in India, although such a blessing, and I was so happy to do that, to be able to do that, to be with people from around the world who join these calls and meet them face to face and enjoy the blessings coming from Dr. Pillai during his birthday as we empowered all those vortices, the temples, the spiritual vortexes, the natural spiritual vortexes that are on the earth plane that we wouldn't normally know about. Or maybe we do know about it and we've been there, but we don't have that deep soul connection, and all the energy coming through, all the blessings coming through are because of being with Dr. Pillai, because he is so evolved that he has access to these divine beings who are saying, hey, you brought a group of people here, let's check their level of their soul's evolution and then see what we can do with them. Not only for the individuals or that little group, because there was about 60 of us or so, maybe a little bit more, throughout the 2 weeks coming and going. So the divine says, okay, we have this group of people, but hey, how are we going to open up the consciousness for the whole world? So we're all in this spiritual vortex, just like we are now. We're connecting over the internet, and we are, whether we're half awake, whether we haven't slept all night, whether we are starting our day all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and everything in between, we are coming because our soul is calling us. So when the groups of souls come together and they want to enjoy some spiritual knowledge coming through, that it's at the level of the soul. So whatever dragged you here, or whether you jumped here and ran here, or we're looking so forward to it, here we are. And collectively, we are going to raise the roof. We're going to do something in the world that we may not know about, but it will touch the hearts and souls of those people who maybe aren't even on the spiritual path, or maybe are on the spiritual path and they just need that awakening at the soul level. So it doesn't have anything to do really with how we think, because thinking is limited and it just makes us to be stuck, or we just see one way or maybe a few ways, and we say, okay, we'll go down this narrow path, we'll go down this narrow path, we'll go down this narrow path. The divine, the spiritual realms, they don't want narrow paths. They want to blow it wide open. So this week is a power time to establish your connection with the spirit as it's moving through you, and it's going to stir you up if it hasn't already been stirring you up in the past couple of weeks. The sun has just has been transiting into Aquarius, and it'll be there till about mid-March. So that means that we are going to have some energy that is going to be coming in and saying, hey, you know, it's Aquarius is Saturn sign. Saturn is the planet who rules Aquarius. And Saturn is all about structure and discipline and, you know, staying on the tried and true path. But being in Aquarius, he's like, well, maybe we should look into some other things. Maybe we should be looking into innovative ways of being. And it doesn't just mean as far as technology goes, it's also that innovation, that inside discovery about who you are and who you're being, and then how that's going to get you out of your funky situations that you may find yourself in. So it's kind of interesting that the divine has said, hey, you know, this is a time to clear debt. And it makes sense because we just had holiday season, and then maybe some of us went on a vacation and there was extra financial pressure put on us. Although it was wonderful, it still impacts our finances and our relationships and our job and so on. So it's a time where you can sort of settle those debts. So instead of being stressed out or fearful or full of anxiety or anxious about how it's all going to work out, you can go to the divine, and the divine will do it fast. So it's high and fast, and then it is the time where we can also enjoy the blessings of these divine archetypes that we have been discovering inside of ourselves. So Ganesha's energy lives at the base of our spine and also in the middle of our brain, in the thalamic region. The thalamic region is the thalamus is a region in the brain where it creates like a bridge or a cross, like a highway that goes in between the right and the left brain. So we become holistic and balanced in our thinking. So Ganesha is going to help us to be balanced and help us to remove obstacles from a peaceful, relaxed, focused state, rather than anxious and fearful and so on, and stressed out and worried about the future. Oh my God, we can't worry about the future. Everything can happen so fast. You know, I was only supposed to go to India for 1 week. And in an instant, I talked to Dr. Pillai and he said, you can stay. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he said, but I don't know if there's room for you. And I went, oh, okay. And then, so everything happened so quickly as I let go. And I thought, okay, if it's meant to be, I will just let go and let God. And everything worked out beautifully. Now I was moving from room to room, but it was a beautiful experience to practice being centered and focused. And don't worry if you're, you know, not settled in a place, because you just never know. You might be in a better place and rooming with someone else that you can discover and share about your spiritual experiences on the path and clean up some karma, because everywhere you go, there you are. It's an opportunity for you to clean up karma and cleanse your past relationships with those people. Even if you just met them for the first time, at the level of the soul, you are meeting them again and you're having an experience. And whatever that experience is, whether it's good or bad, you want to learn something from it and thank the person and thank yourself for saying, okay, we got this resolved. And then you'll kind of see the behavior that you have in your life can stem from those unexpected interactions, and here you are staying with someone for the first time, and you're sharing, the room, the space, the washroom, overnight. You don't know if they snore, or you don't know if you snore, and you're going to be disturbing them. But it all worked out beautifully to be staying those extra few days, and then being able to help with everyone on the path that we took with Dr. Pillai to some very powerful vortices. And maybe we'll open up a lively discussion with some members who were on the journey, or maybe some members who want to know about it. We can share about it. So back to this week. We're all here to find out what's going to happen in the week ahead, because I know that I have to stay open to surprises. I have to stay open to what the future is going to unfold for me. But what can I do to prepare? Just like the weather. Okay, so I came from over 100 degrees in India, and then back to Canada, and it's like a 100 degrees difference. So it was just like, whoa, I had to have my coat brought to me, my winter coat, my boots and everything to the airport to make sure that I would have the proper clothing to be driving home. And conversely, when I left, I had to have no coat and relatively no clothes or summer clothes to be adapting to the weather conditions in India. So that's what we are here to do, is find out what the Spirit is telling us, what the divine is telling us, how to move and navigate in the world with more grace and ease. So this week is all about debt removal. So it's a window of time. You got about 7 days we're going to look at. And we're going to see that there are very powerful opportunities for you to clear, all of us to clear, some deep-seated karmic issues that we don't even know about. We were in a temple, and Dr. Pillai, it was not even on the itinerary. In fact, most times when you go to India, we get an itinerary, and then Dr. Pillai says, okay, well, let's send them here. And so we he read all our souls, and he figured, oh, goodness me, they need some extra karmic cleansing, scrubbing up. As if we hadn't had enough well water being dumped on us, soaking us wet in the ocean to cleanse the karma. I never saw so many happy people swimming in the ocean in the Bay of Bengal, in southern Tamil, the tip of southern Tamil Nadu, southern India, at Rameswaram, where you can get the deepest, darkest sins removed from past lives, from present life, future lives. Your ancestors can get relieved of sins that they've committed, and they can evolve. But when we were in the ocean, the joy from everyone in the ocean, and some people were scared of the water. They were just like, oh my God. But then they got in, and it was almost like that ocean water was caressing them. It was embracing them and saying, it's okay, just do your thing and enjoy. And so many smiles were on so many people's faces, a lot of tears as well. So we never know what's inside of us that comes to the surface, and we don't even know what's being cleared. Maybe some thoughts will come, maybe some memories, but what happens is at the level of the soul, it just gets shaken up, and whatever comes up to the surface gets released. And then we, at the level of the mind, the emotions, our spiritual makeup gets just burst. It kind of like it can't hold it together anymore. We can't cope. We don't have coping mechanisms to keep ourselves closed down and hide away. It's just like, bah, you're in the ocean of karma cleansing, and here we go. And then going to the 22 wells and getting buckets of water dumped on us from all the sin dissolving properties of each of those wells. And it took, I think, maybe about an hour and a half for all of us to get through. And we just went through with such grace and ease. It was just like we were a moving unit, all breathing together at the soul level, and kind of moving in and out and experiencing, supporting one another as they experience their washing away of the karma, and then you getting up there and you feel the energy even before the anticipation, before the water is poured on you. It's the anticipation is like, wow, you don't even know what's coming up, and it's coming to the surface, and then water comes and then you're cleansed. And then it's only until after the fact, maybe even now, as we're all come back home to our respective places, that we are starting to experience the unfolding of that karma cleansing. So we went to this, next place was called Temple Town. And the Temple Town is this place where it's called Kumbakonam, and it's a place where we all began. Kumbakonam is the name of the temple. Kumba means pot. And then this pot is full of how creation started. So you can read about that. But there's about 1,000 temples in a very small radius. So it's just vibing. The whole place is vibing with spiritual energy. So you don't have to think, oh, I'm meditating now and I'll close my eyes. You're just like, you're logged on and you're meditating and you're awake and you're eating and you're walking and you're doing stuff and the spirit is just moving you. So in this particular place, we went to, many temples, and we went to also to Arunachala, where it's the mountain of fire. It's the Shiva in the earth form, so as a mountain. He's a living lingam. And we went to the temple there, and we weren't supposed to get in, but we did get in, and we got to see we got into the sanctums. We're allowed to be in the temple, but most Westerners are not allowed to be in the temple. And with the grace and blessings of the divine, even to Dr. Pillai's surprise, because he wasn't with us, he heard that we got into the sanctorum of all the main deities, and he just said the divine wanted you to be there. And it was such a blessing for not only the people there, but all for the whole world. So here we are at the foothill of Arunachala, and it happens to be according to the technology from the Vedas and the scriptures and all the sacred texts written over the years and accounted by all these great rishi saints and siddhas who've discovered that Arunachala is the center, not only the center of this place called Tiruvannamalai, it's also the center of the spiritual vortex of India. It's also the center of the world. It's also the center of the universe. Oh my God. So here we are, us 60 people from all parts of the world. We're coming together. We're at this place, and we got the blessings to go into the temple, to be at the foot of the Lord in the center of the universe. Like, mind blowing, right? Body blowing, spirit blow, everything was blown. And it was just like, wow, like, pinch me. What did I do to deserve to be here at this particular point in time? When Dr. Pillai is opening up the vortex for the whole universe to shower blessings on everybody here in the earth plane. So we also had, so that's a big karma busting experience, a big cleansing experience of cleansing with water, cleansing with spiritual energy coming from the temples. And then we went to this one temple where we did a huge yajna, and it was called like our celebration ritual. It was called the temple where the nakshatras are. So your stars, there's a lingam for each of the birth stars. So everybody enjoyed that. We walked into the temple, we ran to our birth star, and we went and prayed in front of it, or our friends or family members, their Shiva lingams, according to their birth stars. So that was really a powerful blessing. Dr. Pillai's birth star, in fact, it's his birth star today. So you're going to be receiving a lot of spiritual awakening if you're tuned in, and you just tuned in because I told you. I shared that. If you know Dr. Pillai's birth star, it's Purva Bhadrapada or Puratati in Tamil, you can get blessings. So he's going to open up your soul to be able to receive everything that is going to roll out this week. So all the debt clearing, all the sin removing, all the sin absolving, sin meaning mistake. You made mistakes in the past lives and also in this life. And maybe in future lives, you're going to do it again, only better or worse. So we don't want to get too caught up in all that. We want to just like erase all that. I don't even want that storyline. Edit it out. So Dr. Pillai will help you to do that when you do your spiritual practices, and on his birth star day today, when we're in our meditation especially, really call on that energy to bring in a lot of fire. So his birth star helps people to burn karma and also rise up. So raise the energy level up. So if you feel like you've been a little bit February blues and seasonal affective disorder, if you didn't get out in the sun, you know, if you're from the North America, the sun is always shining. And it can be really impacting the pituitary and the pineal. Those are the two major master glands that detect seasonal variations in temperature and so on. And that pings our mind and body and says, oh my God, spit out some hormones to make us happy, and it just won't do it, because the sun is so important. As the sun transits, we have to know what the sun is going to do, because the sun represents our soul. So we want to live from our soul, which is so happy and joyous, but it's just covered up with a bunch of storyline, you know, layers of stuff, gunk. And we're stuck. We can't remove it. So Dr. Pillai's star will push that energy. They'll burst you through layers that you don't even want to know about. Just take the trash out, burn it, purify me. So you might have some emotional experiences, which is always good, because then you know God is in you. If you don't have an emotional experience, then you're not really connecting to God. And you can say, oh, well, you know, God is just everything, and God is the wall, and it's amorphous. But being on the spiritual path means that you want to feel and experience the love of God in you, and have that spiritual awakening and that energy that guides you and helps you to live out a more joyous and more prosperous life on all levels, in all interactions with everyone, regardless of whether you like them or not, or whether you like yourself or not. So the divine is going to be, you know, cranked up a notch, especially on this day where Dr. Pillai's birth star is going to be beaming you from inside, outside, and everywhere else. And he's also in Chennai, in Arunachala, which is about 3-hour drive from Chennai. And he is going to be beaming us, because he knows we're all coming together here. And his energy and grace and blessings will be guiding us to reach new heights or new depths, depending on which way you want to go. And it's not about you, it's about which way the spirit wants to move you. So go with it. So getting back to that final sin removing temple, it was called the worst sins get removed temple. And it, again, we did a big ritual there. We even had to go away and come back, because that's how long it took. It took like hours for it to complete. So we went off and did another temple visit, and then came back and got blessings there. Everything Dr. Pillai does is so efficient. So when we came back to receive the blessings at the end, you know, getting in front of the deities there and receiving the final wrap up from the priests, you felt the energy shifting and moving you. And at one point I was just like, what is this temple? Because I had been so busy with everyone, making sure nobody gets lost. These temples are huge. You can get lost in an instant, go down the wrong corridor, or take a left turn at Albuquerque. You know, can be happening that fast. So, and then the energy is so strong that people were kind of like, you know, spacing out. They were just kind of fixed. in the energy of the temple and not able to move. So I'm busy, you know, with the other teachers who were on the trip as well, and the helpers, you know, helping people to navigate their experience with a little bit more grace and ease and direction and flow. So I didn't realize that this temple was going to dig deep. And at one point, I just came to one of the days I was bawling my head off. And like there's a big lineup on either side. You line up on either side of the deity so that down the middle is open and everyone towards the back can see. So I'm way at the back, you know, 30 some odd people on either side and far away from the deity. But all of a sudden, that energy just poured through and hit me. And I was almost bowled over with like, what just happened? You know, and then deep inside of me was like this churning, you know, it was churning and churning. And I was like, Baba, I don't even know what's coming up. I don't even know why I'm crying. Who is that deity? I can't even see, you know, and then I just let go. And whatever came up to the surface, it was exactly what needed to come up. That there was some ancient karma, some deep-seated sin that I had committed, and I knew it. It was just felt so bad and so like stuck and yucky and just, you know, and there was nothing I could do about it, and I couldn't feel guilty about it, and I couldn't feel sad about it, and I couldn't be mad about it. It was just all coming up all at once. So like in life, sometimes when things happen, there's so many emotions going on all at once. You don't even know how to feel. You don't even know why you're feeling this way. And so I just blurted something out to my colleague who I've known for years and years on the path. And she just quietly said, well, Sucharita, you know, whatever you're going to do, just, you know, just stay positive, and whatever is going to happen, it's going to be good. And the moment she said that, everything just went, oh, well, that's done. And literally she looked at me and she goes, wow, that was pretty fast. And I went, yeah, right? Like there's no time to waste anymore. There's no time to indulge in all that, you know, whatever that was, or who's right or wrong or good or bad. So it was a karma that was ancient, so stuck inside of me, that who I was being for the rest of the trip was so freeing. And everyone who I interacted with, even though I've known them for years or maybe for the first time, we were meeting at this beautiful, pure, lovely level of being. And it was so like, oh, this is so cool. It happened so fast. So these temples and these vortices and all the celebrations, everything we do at Pillai Center or Ashurved or through Tripura Foundation or through Nambu herbs, you take the herbs in. We went to the Nambu Naiki temple. The Nambu Naiki temple is what the goddess who removes like misery, disease, you know, disease of the mind, people who are like depressed, who have depression running in their family, and they're having the symptoms themselves and going, my God, I can't do this. I can't do the same as everyone else has in my lineage. Or people who have, you know, long-standing illnesses, or they just found out that they have some disease through tests. Oh my God, and here they are in India and they get the blessings of Nambu Naiki. So Nambu Herbs, which is the company that Dr. Pillai has opened up with Nambu, the goddess. Her name is Beth Damaris, and she has headed up this search for the best way to get all these ancient secrets from the siddhas into the capsules and have those herbs come alive. So most herbs, most you know, supplements, they're dead after they've been processed. You can say, oh, they're alive. They're not. They don't have the living being in there anymore. So the siddhas pump in the phonemes. So the phonemic intelligence for each of those herbs comes alive, such that when it's getting shipped to you, you will feel it. In fact, when I was bringing it home, I brought a big batch because we got a great deal And so I took my 6 months of herbs that I'm going to have go through, and then in 6 months when I go to Guru Purnima, which is in July, and get another batch, and you get free shipping and all these great deals. So when I was bringing it home, I could just feel the herbs. They were just like empowering me. Everything that I ate was no problem. I didn't get sick. I didn't have any issues. And I know it's because of the herbs, because usually in the 20 years or so that I've been going to India, I've been sick. And it's not because you're not paying attention. It's just that a lot of karma is coming up. And yeah, bugs are in stuff, just like here, bugs are in stuff. If you're new to this place, this part of the world, you don't have the technology inside of you to combat those bugs. So we need a biotech that is going to help us, but it's going to be high tech, high biotech. So the Nambu herbs help to nourish you and nurture you and protect you, and then raise your vibration such that everything just goes so smoothly. So I manifested some beautiful experiences on the way home. I had empty seats all the way back, and it's about 30 hours of travel to get here back to Canada, and everything was super smooth. All the connections were super smooth. Everything was beautiful. So I was like, Nambu herbs, yay. So, so if everything we offer through Pillai Center, Ashravid, Nambu herbs, Tripura Foundation, it's all high spiritual tech. It's the technology that's going to keep your vibrations raised. So instead of coming and going to different courses and, maybe different teachers, or you have, gurus in the past, and you're saying, okay, well, I'm kind of at a plateau. I want to go deeper. Dr. Pillai and the Siddhas, who are beings, and they are here on the earth plane, and you have to be able to see them, and you have to be able to get the blessings to share all this technology with whoever is going to come and get it. And it's so at the levels of the soul, everyone qualifies, because there are people who are brand new to the path, and man, they were just like glowing. Even when people were sick, I was mentioning last night during Wealth Rising Fire Lab, even when people were sick, and people are sick, their eyes are all, oh, droopy, I feel so sick. My eyes are all like puffy. Their eyes were so bright and their glow was around them, but they just had, maybe a cough or a cold or some bug in their guts. But their spirit was just keeping them so alive and vital, and the energy was making them to glow and have the energy to move about in 100-degree heat when you're not feeling so great. But they just had this energy that took them along. So that's the grace and blessings. It's so extreme. So when you go into your life, as I did mention as well last night, and after only like 1 or 2 hours of sleep, because I had a very early phone call this morning with an advisory client. So I was like, oh my God, I'm going to get 2.2 hours sleep. I wonder how I'll be on Powertime practice. So far, so good. And that's how it is. The energy of the divine will make your cells to vibrate and make them to retain energy from within and also around your surroundings. It will support your surroundings, even if maybe you live in an environment where people aren't so supportive, or maybe they just don't understand what you're doing on your path. That vibration will just get washed away like a wave. And the energy that you have from your teachings, from your practices, from taking the Nambu herbs, from being on a pilgrimage that is like so high and so fast and so fabulous, that is trickling over and kind of like a jet stream. It's just carrying you along. So that's what we did in a nutshell in India, and I hope that you get to experience a little bit of it as I'm sharing the energy. It was just so palpable and so amazing, and it's not that you missed out if you couldn't go. Please consider putting your putting some finances away for the next trip if you can go. So start to think about that, manifest that, and then be there, and you will forever be changed. And all the stubborn stuff that you cannot scrub out on your own, it will get removed because you are going there, and the divine is inviting you to go there. It has nothing to do with Hinduism or the religion. Hinduism isn't even a religion, it's a way of life. It's a Vedic way of life. It's an old way of life, an ancient way of life. And anyone can be part of that culture and that way of life. So you can do it. You don't have to convert. You can be on this path with Dr. Pillai, and the doors will open magically for you to experience it. And even the people in the temples who are Hindus, who've lived in India their whole lives, who live in the area, they were just amazed at the joy and the beauty and the blessings coming through all these foreigners. And we were just kind of like dancing with the divine. Just in our being, we weren't like jumping around or anything. We were just like floating and moving, and it was as if the divine had said in this big vortex at the center of the universe, hey, you guys, you're going to do a little bit of dance. You're going to go and you're going to propitiate the Lord, the goddesses, Ganesha, whoever is there, to come alive, to open up this vortex of energy, and these little vortices of energy in the sanctums, and see what happens. Like click, 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 and boom, we're off to a whole new way of being. So that's what it was. Now, what's going on with the week ahead? Let's get to it, right? Enough about that. So we have if you check your Astroved calendar, you can get one on Pillai Center or Astroved. Please do get it. It has lovely information about the planets, the stars, and so on. And it's something that each and every one of us wants to know. And I love penciling this one up. And so what we have here is we have on the 18th, which is tomorrow, it's a debt removing Ganesha. And it's called Runahara. And Runa means debt, and Hara means destroy. So we want to get the blessings from this powerful Ganesha, Runahara, to destroy debt. And so it can be financial debt, health debt. We're paying some karmic debt if we have a disease and we eat well and we do everything well, and all of a sudden we get a disease. What? How is that happening? So never mind about the how or whatever has happened. That karmic seed got planted and it's about to bloom into full-on illness. And then it's not just the illness that you have, your whole life gets turned upside down. So who wants that? No thanks. So we can participate in these services if you can that are offered through Pillai Center Astroved. And if you can't, then pray to Ganesha. There's so many Ganeshas. In fact, right here, I have this, who do I want to start with? Okay, so let's start with the Adi Ganesha, because people say, oh my God, an elephant-headed being. I'm not really understanding what that's all about, but okay. Here's the Adi Ganesha. He's a human-headed Ganesha. He's also called an Naramukha Ganesha. So he is a Ganesha that originally he had the human head and a couple of arms, not 4, not 8, not whatever, right? So this Ganesha, look at him, he's so happy. Hi. He's got a pot belly and he is just turned gold. How about that? Cool, right? He just wanted to give you some darshan. So darshan means spiritual transmission. So enjoy it. Feel it as it's coming now. Feel it at the base of your spine. Feel some tingling. Feel some energy. Maybe you'll even turn gold. So this Ganesha Adi means the first. So he's the guy who will bless you with beauty, with being first. You're not second to anyone. If you're divine, you just can't be second to anyone. So you are second to none with his grace and blessings. So, wow, look at him now. He's turning all kinds of colors. Very cool. So that's how we know I'm not doing anything. My hands are like, right? So there's some divine message coming through, and that's how we know. How is the divine communicating with us? Well, you just saw it. So that's a Ganesha, and he is going to give you that energy of feeling first and foremost. So get rid of all those sins and that debt, karmic debt. Oh my God, like smash it. Financial debt, job debt. Ugh, I have to do this job till I retire. Forget about it. Or if I have to do it, get me somewhere else where it's going to be happy and creative and more fulfilling, more rewarding. So he will be the guy who does that, Ganesha. Here's another Ganesha. This was a Ganesha that was given out to members if you participated in Ganesha Chaturthi, which is his birthday, which happens around August, September, depending on the calendar year. So this Ganesha, look what he's got. He's got, again, he doesn't have too many arms. He's got 2 arms. Cool. So we're moving right along with those, because people always say, why do they have so many arms? It's so weird. And I would agree, it is pretty weird, but hey, we're going to get to that. So you can see he's got a lingam, a Shiva lingam, which is the universal symbol for God and goddess. Before they could build temples and stuff, they would just make this like simple universal lingam. So he's got it in his hand. So what does it mean? Hey, he's got the world in his hands. He's got the creator, the destroyer, the maintainer in his hand. He's always got him there. And that's what we want to do too. We want to remove obstacles internally so that we can feel this energy of creation, of the ability to protect our manifestations, of the ability to enjoy our manifestations, of the ability to destroy negativity instead of having our emotions overtake us and feeling so debilitated. So that is another Ganesha. He might be Karpaka Ganesha, but correct me if I'm wrong, anyone who knows. Might be something that we'll have a pop quiz next time for. So that's another Ganesha. Here's an Aruku Ganesha. This is all about Ganesha. Many different ways you can experience Ganesha. So again, he only has a couple of hands. Wow. He is like Aruku is kind of like a wood. Well, not kind of, like it is. So this Ganesha, it came from Dr. Pillai's. I always write on the bottom of these things so I know where they come from over the years. So Bob, it was actually his birthday in 2016. And this was a Ganesha, actually. There's a little story of that. He had given out these Ganeshas to everyone. And Aruku is this ability to really destroy some, stuck energies inside of our mind, like inside of our way of being and our behavior. And, so you don't have to go to a psychologist or psychoanalyst. You can just get it from him. So he will destroy all of that. He'll just like, hey, what? Forget about it. Don't even have those thoughts. And we're like, well, don't say don't have those thoughts, because that's all I'm having now are those thoughts. So he was given out by Dr. Pillai to everyone. And then there were a couple of people who couldn't get a Ganesha. So he did a lottery, I guess you call it, where he put the names in the hat. And then he picked the name, and this was the one, he picked my name. And he said, I did that on purpose. And I was like, I was praying for someone else to get it, right? Because I was like, oh no, she has all these projects. It would be great if she could have this Ganesha and, get all the obstacles removed. And all of a sudden I'm being called to the front and I've been giving this. And he goes, now don't lose this. So I have him wherever I go, and he's very lightweight, and you can hold him in your hands and take him with you. He doesn't make alarms go off when you're traveling through those inspection points. So he's a great Ganesha. He's been fabulous for me. And I was going through an 8th house Saturn at that time, which was really going to hammer me on so many levels. And I could feel it inside of me. And my energy was going down. I felt sick. All these things. And I was like, what? Seriously? I'm taking care of myself, but why? But the planet's got to do what they got to do. So if you know ahead of time what they're going to do to you, then you can have these little blessings. And you might think, oh, it's insignificant, but man, when I got this, he was like, all this energy came, all the obstacles got removed from my projects. And then I was working with this other person that I wanted the obstacles to be removed for her projects. So she ended up getting the blessings anyways. We both got the blessings and all the projects got done, and then people benefited from them. So this little guy did it. So there's another Ganesha I have here, and he is kind of fabulous. I like him. He's a 9-planet Ganesha. Now check this out. He's a Ganesha that has all these different seeds. You see, I don't know if you can see. Oh, there it goes again. He just wanted you to see his turmeric yellow. So he's made of all the seeds that represent each of the 9 planets. So different seeds and grains. In ancient times, you offered them, and also in modern times too, they get offered in yajnas or homas or things like that. And so he is shaped with all those 9-planet offerings. And then he's got some sort of glazed shellac or something like that. I've had him for years. And whenever there's challenges with the planets, I just automatically I'm drawn to him to pick him up and say, please be nice to me, all planets. I don't know what's going to happen. I would have to study this forever, to understand how you're moving through me. But I'll just pick you up, and then I'll be in alignment with all the blessings. Now, does that sound a little strange? Try it. You'll like it. That's all I have to say. Well, I have to say more. That's just my nature. That's what I'm here to do, share with all of you. And then this is another Ganesha he's got some arms now. So why do these Ganeshas have arms? And why do all these Hindu gods have different arms and different weapons and things in their hands? Well, in ancient times, the seers, they were at the top of a mountain, and they're looking up and into the sky, and they're saying, hey, we need some rain. Like, is anyone out there? We don't have any crops. Everyone's dying. There's some disease going on. Can anybody help? We didn't have internet. We didn't have cell phones. We didn't have any knowledge. We didn't have encyclopedias. We didn't have anything, right? So these seers, the saints that had the third eye open, they started to get messages. And so these divine beings like Ganesha came and said, hey, what's up? What do you want? And they said, well, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this, we need this. And we also need this, this, and this, and this. And we need some protection, and we need, so all those qualities or characteristics became arms of the person to remind the people, hey, if you go to the temple, we'll build the temple around this image that we saw, and then we will give gratitude, we'll give thanks to this being. And so we have to remember, hey, what did they do? So they have multiple arms and multiple things in their arms. And then there's the mythology. The mythotherapy is tremendous when you understand at the level of the soul, myths are true forever. So they come from the stories where the guys were lying down and looking up at the sky, and the stories were told. Even the ancient texts were written by Ganesha. So he's the first and foremost. So get to know him. He's not just an archetype. He is part of the collective unconscious of everyone in the world. And you come back lifetime after lifetime, and maybe you're returning in this lifetime to say, hey, I want to do something faster and easier. Oh yeah, I had a few lifetimes, or maybe thousands of lifetimes with this technology. And I said, I want to try something else. But now I'm back, because at the level of the soul, why are we here? You know, as Dr. Pillai says, you can go. You don't have to stay here and take this. You don't have to listen to this. He says, but this is the highest technology. And he says, and if you go away and you find out something that's better and higher and easier and faster, please share it with me. He's very open about it. So he takes all the high tech from all religions, all cultures across the globe and across time to find out what is going to help us. And time and again, he comes back to this culture because it's a living culture. It keeps on going. They're always being propitiated. So this Ganesha is really turning gold now. He just wants to give you lots of blessings, so enjoy. So this was from his birthday, and then that means that you can get a new life. So you want to change your destiny. We went to a destiny changing temple in Kumbakonam, and it is a little Ganesha this big, and he's made of sea foam. Oh, come on. How does that happen, right? So the story goes where the gods and the demons were fighting. And they were fighting and they were competing, and they were like, oh, I'm going to churn this ocean, and I'm going to get the gems that come from the ocean. And so they were madly doing this, and they went, oh no, we didn't pray to Ganesha first. So they had to take the sea foam off the top of this churning of the ocean and make a mold a Ganesha and then propitiate him. And so he popped up in the place called Swami Malai, or nearby Swami Malai, and he gives the blessings to get a new destiny, because they were destined to not benefit neither the good guys or the bad guys. It was just going to be, if you don't call on the guy who says, hey, this is how it's all going to roll out, and you guys are both going to be successful on some level, there's no worries about good, bad, right, wrong. Your destiny is going to change. So you never know. One of you could go to the other side, right? So be careful what you wish for. Anyways, when you go to this Ganesha, because he was propitiated, at the last second, you really feel the shift inside of it. We were like, I need a new destiny. You can say that all you want. You can think it all you want. You can make your goals and make your plan. But until you go to that place, that vortex, and you just go and you look at this little Ganesha, swear to God, he's this big as my head. And you just look at him, and just energy just comes, and you go, oh my God, I have to change my destiny. There is no way I can go back and be the same person. I cannot leave this temple and be the same person. It's such a force to be reckoned with that just comes alive, and it just says, I cannot do this mundane life without the grace and blessings of the divine. And so then it's all rolling out, and definitely my destiny is changing. My destiny changed from the moment I left there. And we see it in everyday life. So it's not something down the road. When you're on this path with Dr. Pillai, just hearing these stories, hearing the myths, hearing people share about their experiences, it's going to wake something up inside of you for you that you remember. You remember that intelligence. You recall those stories. It's like a deja vu, only you haven't been there. It's just like happening at the level of the soul. It's like awakening. It's enlightening you. It's making your load lighter, so to speak. So those are some Ganeshas, and then I've got some on the altar there, I think. Yeah, yeah. So they're just little Ganeshas, and then there's one Ganesha. He's a little book, and he's got, I don't know if you can see this, but he's got an axe. Which hand is it in? Here it is. It's a beautiful, this is metal. It's kind of a cool book. He's got some secrets in there. But this Ganesha, maybe I should put this light. Okay, so you can see his axe. There it is. So you see the stem, and then there's the, ouch. No, just kidding. So there's where he's going to just cut away your debt. He's going to cut out the roots. And Ganesha is at the level of the Muladhara chakra. He's at the root chakra, the root of who you are. And it sounds weird. You're in your tailbone area? Yes, you are. And it makes sense because you're growing spiritually. You have to start somewhere. So the seed is in the lower part of you. And then as you're growing, it's like this tree is growing, and then you're going to fully blossom, or maybe a flower and a lotus idea is going to be happening. So this Ganesha, he is this Runahara Ganesha. He's going to chop off all the debt that you have experienced. And I've participated in these rituals over the years, and my God, I don't even do anything to my credit card. It starts to go down. But you start to have these moments where, you know, all of a sudden you can refinance, or there's some creative tax write-off, or some information comes where you clean up your finances, you clean up your relationships, and you don't have to go to self-help and counseling and all the rest. You know, maybe you do too as well. Maybe you decide, okay, listen, we can't do this being spiritual. We have to go get help. And so that help, that also can take care of your karmic debt. Because here's the thing, you wanted to do it. You wanted to take care, you wanted to come in this lifetime at the level of the soul to take care of this. So the spiritual technology will just chop it so that it's not all long and drawn out. It can be done instantaneously. And then the divine works in mysterious ways, because when you invite the divine into your life, the divine starts to move inside of you and go here, there, do this, do that. And that's what we call intuition or gut feeling. So it's not a haphazard, although it can look like that, can look a bit strange. But it is also very empowering, and it's so super easy. And that's what ends up in what we call miracles. Oh my God, another miracle happened to me. Miracle, miracle, miracle. And now people on the path with Dr. Pillai, their miracle is like an everyday occurrence. It's not that we're not grateful. It's just like, wow, what else is going to happen? This is cool. This is fun. So this Ganesha on tomorrow is a debt removing Ganesha. It's a fire lab. There's different celebrations that you can participate in. And according to, if you go to Astrovet or Pillai Center, you will read that offering your sincere prayers to this unique form of Ganesha can give you the following blessings. So listen carefully. If this resonates with you, you might want to explore it, or just pray to Ganesha. So he's going to remove all kinds of debts, all kinds of debts. You don't even know what your debts are. You don't even know who you're going to encounter, or maybe people who you encounter every day. You don't know what debt you have to pay them. So you don't want it to be a yucky one. You want it to be a good one, right? So it will destroy poverty. Poverty is a consciousness. Even if you have millions of dollars, I know so many people over my lifetime who have millions and billions of dollars, and they are miserable. Not all of them, but a lot of them, because they're so worried someone's going to rip them off or want to take their money, or they're worried about their money, you know, losing millions on the stock market or whatever they got invested in. And so this constant worry, it's a job, it's a full time, they can't even sleep, they can't eat, they can't travel, they can't do anything, they're obsessed. So that's poverty consciousness. It's like, I don't have enough, right? So when are you going to have enough? So poverty can be at the level of the mind, the body. You can have poverty, oh, I don't have enough, I need more. You can be like a clothes hound and just spendthrift, and then you're surrounded by stuff and you're like what do you call those? Hoarders. You know, they just can't even move. And that's poverty consciousness. So poverty is also like, oh, poor me, I don't have any friends, or nobody understands me, or I'm so spiritual and I don't get the world. Well, guess what? The world is spiritual. And so are you. And so is everybody else. We just are waking up to different levels of it, different experiences of it. So that's poverty consciousness. If you can't see that the divine is flowing everywhere, it's abundant everywhere. So it'll help to destroy that consciousness. It'll help you to gain wealth, so wealth, health, happiness, restore abundance. So if you've been like, okay, I've been on a spending spree, you know, doing all this traveling, or I had expenses over the holidays, Christmas, and so on, unexpected things have happened. Maybe, you know, someone passed away in your family, you've got to jump on a plane and it's an extra trip, and then you got to cancel your vacation, but you don't want to, so you don't. So you're paying double, you know, whatever happens. So that it's going to bring that abundance back to you. It will make you to experience, hey, this is all worth it. I know I have to do this at the level of the soul. And I'm not indulging. I deserve this. And I also have to go do my duties as a loving, caring, and compassionate human being if you're going to go visit family if someone died. And they want you to go, and it works and so on. So it will also help you to overcome worldly bondages. Now, what is a worldly bondage? What is a worldly bondage? A worldly bondage is something that you feel you're so attached to and you cannot get unstuck from. Controlling either a person, a place, a thing, a job, right? So that's what it is. It's kind of like glue. It just makes you to stick to that same old way of being. So it doesn't mean that you throw away the people or the job or whatever it is that you have. You just don't be attached to it. And you can't think, oh, I'm not attached. That's a think. You're thinking. Because if someone took it away, you'd be like, oh, wait a minute, I want that back. I want that person back. I want, you know, who am I going to control if I can't have that person around? You know, or who's going to control me? So this is what it is this Ganesha will just like chop all that stuff out and say, hey, you know what? The people don't have to go, the places don't have to go, the things don't have to go. But just, you know, maybe you can pare down a little bit. You'll get active and you'll just start to be a different way in your interactions with others. So that's the bondage. It's the glue. So you just kind of, everything will be there, but it's not sticky. And then you don't feel like you're stuck, right? So you'll feel the grace and blessings. And then this Rinahara Ganapati he's crimson red in color. So you might feel like, oh my goodness, it's Sunday and red is a cool color on Sundays to be wearing. But it also might be that Ganesha coming in. And then in your meditations, you might experience red for the first time, you know, because a lot of us don't see color when we're doing our meditations. Sometimes we do, sometimes we don't. And other times it comes and goes or somewhere in between. So maybe tune in during your meditations and everything that you're doing. Maybe you do some rituals at home, pujas, and then you really feel Ganesha, because it's like the George Harrison song, as Dr. Pillai always refers to, the Beatles guy, where he's just like, God, I really want to see you. I want to feel you. I want to be with you. I want everything. I want to know you. It's just taking way too long. And I can't wait anymore. I'm getting old. I've been on the spiritual path for 1 second, or I've been on it for many years, decades maybe. I got to feel you. I got to experience you. So Ganesha will help you to do that, because the energy will move. And then you will know if you see a red, or even if you don't see red, you can think it. You know what red looks like. So just go in your meditation and say, hey, you know, give me a little glimpse, maybe just this big. So, and then you'll feel this, when the energy comes or this experience of movement comes, then you know you have, the divine is guiding you. The divine is as the spirit moves. And it is going to give clarity to some challenges, or make you to just sit there with your issue and don't deny it anymore, and just look at it and look at it and look at it, and then call on Ganesha and say, can you just take that axe and bust it up? Like, I can't do it. And this sounds really funny because I don't really know what the axe is or all that other stuff, but just do it, because I cannot. And then you will, that's coming from your soul, saying enough is enough. So in being in the right place at the right time means that this Ganesha is available to chop it all out, get to the root of the matter and hack it to bits, so you have a clear path. Weed whacking in your jungle of you. So will lead to a good path that you can follow. So that Ganesha is happening, and so debt removal. Then the next power time is going to be on February 20th, starting February 20th. Okay, Muruga. He's the guy who is there on the mantle behind me. He's got 6 heads. He's got about 6 hands or 12 hands. He's got a bunch of weapons. He's also depicted here in a smaller form. But this is good for you. Oh, look at, he's so happy. And he's got his veil there. And he is a warrior Ganesha, or sorry, a warrior form of Muruga, where he destroyed this evil dude. And so the story goes that no one could. And so Muruga got the blessings to be able to go and kill this guy. And then because he had, you know, killed this guy, and the demon became was so happy that he was killed by a great warrior. He's a son of God, kind of like Jesus, and is to Christianity. So this demon got sliced into two, and then he tried to hide, but then Muruga said, "Hey, don't try to hide. I can see everything. I'm the guy with the third eye. I can open your third eye. So why you want to pray to Ganesha and Lord Muruga, who happen to be brothers, and they're the sons of Lord Shiva? They have it all. They know how to open the third eye. So if you don't know how to open the third eye, or you don't know what that feels like, a lot of people say, I don't know if my third eye is opening. Then you just merge with these beings. You just offer them a light, or just have a picture and just talk to them as if they're your friends. And then that energy will come alive inside of you. It's a collective unconscious that is dormant. And so it's like, hey, you're talking to me. Oh, good. So this energy, but it's not talking as in the language that you speak every day. It's the language of the soul that is so moving. And it will start to speak to you, and all of a sudden you'll find yourself going on Google and searching, and, oh, what's this guy all about? And then you go, oh my God, somehow this is familiar to me. So getting back to this demon that he killed, that no one could, except him, he turned into a rooster and a peacock. So you'll always see the peacock here is with Lord Muruga. And then on the flag that he carries, this is a particular one where he's just carrying the veil, which is a spear. It's a divine weapon, psychic weapon. So when you have that, you don't wheel it around and say, I'm going to kill you. You just have it in your hand and in your presence, and nothing will be able to penetrate your psyche, your subtle body. So negative forces are hidden forces, right? We don't know who's giving us the evil eye. We don't know who's jealous of us. We don't know who's sending negative energy. And it can be people in our family, they're just worried. And that worry comes and hits us like a bomb. It's like, wow, what is going on? But they're so worried about us. That's their worry warts. And they're creating like such a molehill mountain out of the molehill. And you're just like, bowled over. So when you have a veil, that Lord Muruga has, and especially during this time where you can propitiate him and get the blessings, such as killing these demons, inner and outer demons, anger, jealousy, frustration, debt, disease, and karmas that you don't even know what you have, because karma is just thought, and thought is time-based. So why is it that one day you're riding high and you're all happy, and the next day you're like, or why is it that day after day, month after month, year after year, you're just miserable? Like you're faking it for way too long. So he will just get to the root of the matter. So these demons, they just said, you know what, I want to hang out with you because you were able to, really destroy me, and that was something that no one could do. So that's in your life. We can all use that kind of energy in our lives where, no one can touch us. They can make threats or whatever they want. We would just bounce off of us. We won't even hear it. We'll just be like, what? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Not that we would do that. But we wouldn't even hear the bad news or whatever they're sending to us. We wouldn't feel it. So this demon became a peacock, and then he represents Om, or miracle consciousness. And then the flag with the rooster on it not just represents victory. It's victory over all of your vices. So this Muruga, he will get rid of debt by cleansing the second chakra. So the second chakra is just above, as we're coming up, the psycho-spiritual pathway internally. So he started out with Ganesha, then his brother comes along, and he's the one who says, you know what? You have been using your sex center for maybe not the right means. Not that you were doing anything good or bad, but you're blocking your creativity. So Dr. Pillai used to say, whoever you've slept with, you're sleeping with whoever they've slept with. Oh my God. When you think of it that way, geez, right? And then, so that's from the sex perspective, but then also from the creative perspective. If you can't break through your limited way of thinking, how you're going to create your new life or your new destiny, or just whatever you're going to do that day. Making is creating. So if you're making money, or if you're doing something, you're renovating, you're cleaning, everything is action in life. You know, even if you're a couch potato and you don't get off the couch, you are creating a stuck way of being, and you know, that has consequences. So that's a misuse of the sex center. So Muruga is just gonna come in at this point in time, starting on the 20th of February, and it's gonna be every week, every Tuesday. I think it is, yeah. So every Tuesday, you are going to feel, if you want to know God and feel God, participate in this, because he will root out in the belly. Now, most of us can't even feel our belly, or whatever we feel is like indigestion or swelling or something, you know, but we don't feel that connection to creative force, creative energy. And that's where all the miracle powers, all the siddhi powers, siddhi means miracle. So it means that we have the ability to create instantaneously. We can manifest instantaneously. Just like when the sperm meets the egg, boom, it turns into a baby. What? You know, that's the miracle. So we should be able to do that, but we've just put bad food in us. We've had injuries. We've, you know, we've taken in emotions, because that's a kind of like our emotional center. Our center of intuition is in there. You know, it's not just here in the third eye, it's your gut feeling. So your gut is full of toxins and worms and everything else, like Dr. Pillai says, he makes it, it's not a nice place. So we need it energized, we need it purified through the grace and blessing. So every Tuesday, Lord Muruga is going to wake up inside of you. And Lord Muruga, this God, this archetype, is beauty. He's all about beauty. If you have a Mars affliction, if you've had an astrology consultation where the astrologer says, I'm going to deliver you some news. They don't say it like that, but sometimes it's like, oh my God, I'm just getting delivered some news. You are Mongolic, or you have a Mars affliction, meaning that just everything you do or gets done to you is just so destructive, because Mars is a destructive planet. So it's just doing what it's supposed to do. So we got to cool it off. We got to maybe use that warlike energy to be more of a general, a leader in our life, maybe more administrative. Maybe you're taking your life where you have a lot of willpower in your life you didn't have before, or courage. And not that you're standing up and saying, hey, you know, that's not right. You don't have to do that. You'll just be courageous in your outcome or your outlook. And people will see you as being that. Wow, you're so brave, or you did that on your own. You just took the initiative. And you're just like pinching yourself too, going, wow, that's cool. And then Mars is also related to technology. So if you have been struggling with technology, this is a good thing to do for a year, is just get his blessings to be able to create, to be able to understand technology, high tech, and get into the intuition of it. You know, these kids, they come out of the womb and they got a phone in their hand already, and they know how to work it more than their parents do. What? You know, how do they know that? They come with that intelligence, because this is the time where information and time are just like straight up. So Lord Muruga will help you with that. He is the God of beauty, grace, physical vitality, well-being. So if you've been battling with some fatigue or low energy or just negativity, or just find your go-to is no. You negate everything, and you're a happy person, and everybody perceives you as happy, but then you go home and you're complaining. And then you're complaining to your wife or your husband, saying, everybody else sees me as happy, but you just see me as complaining. And It's because you are. You don't tell the rest of the world that you're a happy camper. You're just, you know, you're not telling them your problems. You're just a happy camper. So you're faking it. Huh. And then you go home and then you get to tell the truth and you're just a miserable, you know, whatever. So not that you should judge yourself or be down on yourself, but Muruga will just say, hey, stop that nonsense. You know, be a warrior in your life. Get busy. If you're messed up, get going. If your finances suck, go get them sorted out. So he will also help with accounting and things like that. You know, well, Mercury will too, but, you know, he will give you the will to do it, to get it done, finally. And he will find you the way, because that's what these divine beings want to do. They want to find a creative way of doing it, because we're so stuck in our head. We're way up here when we should be down in the belly button. And then when we're in that gut, we just know, oh my God, I just know I have to do this. I just know I have to go here. And then you go and you get the right help. Because the divine is sending you there and you go, oh, this is awesome. I didn't think it was so difficult. So if you're stuck in finances, health, relationship, Mars just will destroy relationships. It's a planet of war, right? So going to be conflict, even if you say, oh, I love my husband, I love my wife, I love my kids, I love my this, that, and the other thing. You will just say stuff that will just be like a bomb going off. And you'll say, what? How come? You know, I didn't mean that. But and it might not even be anything different from what the other guy says. But because you have this strong energy coming through, it's just like, wow, it blasts. And people take you the wrong way. They misunderstand you. So we want to get the blessings of Lord Muruga and try it out for a whole year if you can. You can do it one time. I think you get free service. You have to sign up for it. Yeah, free Archana, which is a light and sound offering that they do. So you can sign up for that for free. Try it out. Maybe you experience something, gets awakened inside of you, and then something shows up in your life and you go, hey, let me try this out for the year. You know, so there is always a remedy to your situation. And then he will also destroy your negativity and your doubt and also your skepticism, because you can't be skeptical when you're winning. You can't be, you're just winning. You're just getting through stuff. So there's skepticism is it should be after the fact that you become successful or you fail, right? So skepticism is kind of a stupid way of being, as Dr. Pillai shares. Don't use that as your measuring point, measuring stick of who you are. That's always going to be going on. The whole world is negative. So what? You know, you can just sit and dwell in that, or you can just go, wow, I need to be a spiritual warrior to, you know, work through this mosh pit of life so that it's more of a party, a big party. So that's what's happening with this spiritual warrior Muruga, to deeply cleanse your karma and free you from negativity that is holding you back in your life. So if I hear from people and they say, Sutrita, I'm so stuck, I don't know what to do, I've done everything, blah, blah, blah. I will say, you haven't done enough. Because if you are saying that, and if I'm saying that too, we don't even know what's popping up at the level of the soul that's going to come and affect us. So don't do your spiritual life half. It should be 100%. So just keep looking in your life on ways to allow the divine to come in. You don't have to participate in everything and break the bank. You just got to read about it, educate yourself. And then as things roll out, you might find that, oh my God, this is a great investment for my return, or a great return on my investment. So my return to me, maybe, you know, so you invest in you and then you have this tremendous return and you see it over a year, because it, you know, it could happen overnight, but chances are it's not. And not being negative, it's just like, hey, if you've been so stuck your whole life, you're going to need a tremendous miracle. And maybe you get to have one, and it's just going to just clean up everything. But I think then you would probably blow up, because the divine is just so intense. In fact, when people were in India, they just said, why am I feeling like I'm spinning inside? I'm just walking in and I'm putting my feet on these temple stones. And I'm going, oh, these temple stones are like thousands of years old. And there's all this spiritual energy that's been building up and building up and building up. And you're just putting your tender tootsie on there for the first time. Yeah, you're going to be spinning. You know, it's like getting on a joyride and it's not moving, but you're just, everything's going on inside. So that's what it is. If the divine decides to, you know, shower you with tremendous miracles, you know, so much all at once, you'd just probably fall over and you wouldn't be able to get it. You know, it's never happened that way anyway. Because even if you're an old soul, you're in the world, and the world has its own ways of being. And so it can make things to move a little bit slower, more palpable, so that you will understand, oh my God, the divine is moving through me. I need to take care of this in my life and this in my life. Where do these thoughts come from? The divine in you. Okay, so that's enough about Muruga. He's the guy of the third eye. So, hey, you want to know what your third eye is doing? Just call on him. And he will also protect you from negativity, if I haven't mentioned that already. Like things like lawsuits. Who the heck knows when they're going to get in a lawsuit? I know so many people that out of nowhere lawsuits happen. Astrologer didn't even see it. It just came out of nowhere. It's coming from some future, distant future lifetime, or distant past lifetime, or just because the divine wanted it, because he wants to see how you're going to handle it. So we can't escape from anything. But we can get the highest support and say, oh my God, if I know somebody can help me out with lawsuits that come out of nowhere, Muruga's the guy. So better to have him on your side for a year than to go through a whole lawsuit. This just goes on forever and it's expensive and just on so many levels, just not right. Unless, of course, you like that. I don't know. Some people do. Lawyers do. So the last thing for this week is the 23rd. It's called Pasupatastra. So Pasupata and then Astra. So it is this rare fire lab that is going to invoke this mighty weapon that Lord Shiva only gives to those people who know how to handle the power. So always use your power for good is not just something that Wonder Woman said. You know, it's something that we have to do and think and be aware of in our everyday life. So just having this Pasupata Astra weapon, you are going to, just holding it, Arjuna, who's one of the characters in the Mahabharata, he's kind of the hero, one of the heroes, the Pandavas, they went over all these, you know, their family, you can read about it. But anyways, he gets this blessing to just have it. He doesn't know how to really work it, because if he did, he would probably destroy, you know, everything. So just having it helped him to win the war. So he didn't have to do anything with it, and the whole world didn't blow up. He just having that energy, intelligence, consciousness, power, empowerment. Maybe we should call it that. So you're empowering yourself with this psycho-spiritual weapon that only a highest warrior of all time can receive it. So it will not only enlighten you, it will you know, open your third eye. You will also have this regalness, this royalty consciousness that is not like puffed up chest and wearing a crown. It is like wherever you go, you're just treated royally. Gosh, wouldn't all of us want that? You know, and you don't have to say anything, and people will be like, who are you? Or, you know, they'll be wanting to know about you. They'll be wanting to, you know, hang out with you and be with you. So this weapon destroyed any challenge. So any problems that you cannot face anymore. I can't do this anymore. This problem has just been a problem forever. So you can participate, and then you can actually buy the weapon, just like in the Ganesha one, you can buy the axe. So I would recommend doing that if it's minimal. So if you can't afford to do anything else, just have that. And then you can wear it on a, you know, on a chain, or you can put it on the end of your mullah beads, or you can just have it in your wallet. And because just having it, you don't have to do anything with it. You just have it, and that presence will be kind of like X marks the spot. The divine will say, hey, who's got those things? Okay, beam, 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 protection. Right? It'll be like Wi-Fi. You have you're the Wi-Fi modem. And so you'll just be getting beamed from the divine, and the divine you'll get a good Wi-Fi connection with the divine that will help you to overcome these challenges. So if you're wondering how you got here and why you're listening for so long, well, you just got 2 weeks worth of sharing and caring and all the rest. You're going to have a beautiful week ahead, and we'll talk more about the following week. But just to give you a heads up, there is the full moon, Masimaga, is if you have ancestral problems, meaning when you look in your family and there are people in your family who are struggling, and you are too, with maybe debt, with maybe, you know, finances, an illness like a cancer is running through your genes, or diabetes, or a rheumatoid arthritis, or heart disease, and you cannot do anything about it. You've done everything, you know, and you can't, you know, oh my God, it could just wake up any time. And you can't even get rid of that idea, like out of sight, out of mind, and don't think about it and it won't happen. But even saints have been told they're going to get cancer, and they will say, oh, I'm not the body, you know, I'll be fine, and then they die. And so that is like an ego-driven denial, you know, and yet they're saints. So everybody is going to be exposed to that kind of news at some point or another, on some level or another. And I'm not saying it's just disease, it can be financial crisis. You cannot get into savings consciousness. There's no way in your whole life that you've been able to put money and invest it and you gain. Maybe you invest it and it goes, you know? So it's just like water running through your fingers. You just can't get it done. So that is an ancestral thing. You're bickering, fighting amongst family members, aunts, uncles, cousins, your brothers and sisters, your family, you know, your parents. Even though you say, oh yeah, let's get together and celebrate, it's just like bickering, poison, yuck. And you can hardly wait to get out of there. And then you're mad because why can't we just get along, right? So that's ancestral problems. If there's kids that are in your lineage, you know, maybe your nephews, nieces, your own kids, grandkids, and they're messed up. Like, how come the other ones are fine and then this one is like a bad seed? And, you know, you want to help them in some way. So Masi Maga, Masi means the month of Masi in Tamil. Months, and then the Maga is the star. Maga star is that of the ancestors. It says, hey, you get this star energy to go and negotiate with the ancestors. You're kind of like, you get to sit on the throne and you get to say to your ancestors, okay, those who were really great, we need to give the blessings to everyone. So it's the full moon, Masimaga, is happening, and it's going to be on the 28th of February or 1st of March, depending on where you are in the world. So check that out ahead of time. As you budget your way through these next couple of weeks. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do all of it. Just, you can do a little of each. And then if you can't afford anything, then trust. Go to your gut and feel that. And know in your heart and in your mind and in your whole being, this is what I got to do. Not me as in the person and as in the bank account that I have. It's the soul. What does the soul need to help this unit called Sucharita to evolve, right? And then that will carry you through and help you to make your decisions in a clear manner. That will be the right thing. So you don't have to do everything. But if you're a very spiritual person, you will just find yourself doing everything because you just know that, okay, I'm going to just throw money away anyways on stupid stuff. So stuff that I won't even care about anymore, or stuff that I thought I cared about, and that was going to be like tons of money for a couch, a $3,000 couch, and then I'm going to get it on sale for $2,500. I don't even need one, right? I got a good couch, but I just want to have this design. And then you just have this conversation going back and forth and go, honestly, I don't need it. What I do need is I need to wake up my highest self, my most intelligent self, and I'll have my couch in and have my spiritual too, right? Because then the divine will say, well, you put me first, so I'll give you the couch. I'll throw in the couch. Give you a better deal even for waiting, because the divine is always better. So so that's happening at the full moon, and then before that is Nataraj Abhishekam. It only happens a few times a year. That's a time where you can start a new life, a new cycle. And the 13th moon precedes that. It's a Pradosham time, karma busting, and then Ekadashi is 11th moon, and that's a great time to make sure that you have money miracles in your mind all the time, right? Not just when an 11th moon comes up. It's I am money miracles. I am attracting money miracles. Miracles are happening with respect to money. Why? Because we need money on this earth plane to navigate our spiritual path, our material path. And if you don't, then you got to check your consciousness. It's probably saying you don't deserve it, and it's poverty. So who wants to be in poverty? Nobody does. And we don't want to see poverty. So if you don't want it for yourself, at least do it for somebody else then. You know, make yourself, you're a divine being. So make yourself do something that is going to uplift yourself and others. Don't be a stick in the mud and say, oh, I'm good. You're not. You're amazing. You're great. You're God. God can do everything. So go feed God and do God. Be God. So that's it for this weekend. I haven't been checking out the chat. All right. So I will check the chat after the meditation, because I think some of us need to get going. Get on with the day, will you? But hey, you got a great glimpse, if not an earful. And it's going inside of you, that energy, that consciousness is moving through you, because trust me, I don't know what I'm going to say. I just know, hey, this is the time. What day is it? What time is it? Who are you going to be in this? And then I can just share that with you, and then you decide how it's all going to roll out, because every soul knows what it needs to do. Some of us will go kicking and screaming. Some of us will go, oh, I shut it down. Some of us will say, hey, I did it all. Some of us will say, oh man, this is a ride. So whatever you're doing is all good, because it's your experience of the divine coming in, and you'll really know God, you'll really be with God, and you won't have to wait, right? So the door is open, just walk in and enjoy the party. All right, so that's great. I'm reading the chat now. People are saying, wow, wonderful, magical. Those are nice descriptors of the divine coming through. I'm not really doing anything, just allowing that experience to be awakened. As Dr. Pillai says, there's something inside each and every one of us that needs to be awakened with the collective consciousness. So without everyone here who's sharing this live call or going to watch afterwards and participate by diving into the shared experiences or the meditation itself, the information that was presented, that is the way that the Spirit moves us, and that it will give us the ability to have that joy of Spirit speak. So, or someone just said speechless. Maybe we don't need to speak with the Spirit. Let the Spirit speak and we zip. But it always gives so much joy to read the comments on the post and hear from you as well. For those of you who can put together words, it's not always easy, right, to come up with something to say after going so deep. And then it would be nice to hear, because it's Dr. Pillai's birth star, and he has purified us to a certain extent. I had to take off, I had a shawl, and I'm just like, oh, so much heat. I had to take the shawl off. So to me, that is a sign that the divine got in. It got to go to a new level of my awareness of who I was. It's like blown away. And that's being in the right place at the right time. I could meditate and meditate, but on Dr. Pillai's birth star, it just like, the energy is so strong that it just does it. So Miriam was saying, I was holding Ganesha's axe in my hand and it was vibrating. And then I held Muruga's veil and it was vibrating. Goddess Lakshmi had my head buzzing. Yeah, that's what I felt like too. Very powerful. I felt Dr. Pillai's energy beaming into my third eye. Yummy. Someone says raw this. And that's what it is too, is that when we are practicing on our own, sometimes we're thinking about too many things. But when we're just passive and we get taken through a guided meditation in a group setting where the consciousness of the whole community is to, hey, what's up, spirit? How are you going to come and show up in our lives? And then the spirit says, I'm going to give you a spin, you know? And maybe that's why it did the spinning, because it has to be like a washer. You know, we just the churning, and then it's got to spin us, right? To rinse us off and get rid of that which is no longer going to be fulfilling and rewarding in our lives. Happy birth star day. So wonderful to invite and see you live. Such a blessing. Oh, great. Yeah, it is. I mean, as much as I love being in India, I was like, oh man, I miss my PTP people. But lots of you were there in India, and that was great as well. So Miriam is saying, I feel renewed and inspired. So inspired means that you got into the spirit of you. So you dug deep, but you didn't have to, you know, get a shovel and do it, or a jackhammer in some cases. The spirit moved you and made you to feel renewed. And the spirit shows up as Ganesha, as Muruga, as Lord Shiva, the greatest for making you to connect with all these energy centers inside of you, and then also opening your third eye so that you have an experience that is refreshed. You've cracked the egg, so to speak. So someone was saying, I fully believe that miracles can come about, but what do you do when people tell you to keep your expectations in check? This is from iPhone. So iPhone, here's the thing. Your spiritual path is so intimate. Why would you even want to share it with anyone? Why do you even care what anyone thinks? Right? So just, if you want miracles, let that consciousness cultivate inside of you. Zip it, keep it in you. Don't have to say anything to anyone, even if they say, oh my God, that's a miracle. You did this. And you go, oh, cool. You know, you don't have to say anything. Well, I do this meditation practice and then you're getting into he said, she said, my God is better than your God. I know this, you know that. It's just a waste of energy, a waste of the divine. It's not to say that you can't do it if for fun, talk about different stuff. But then as Dr. Pillai says, we spend so much time blah-blahing and trying to justify what it is that we're doing in our life. And when we see on the spiritual path, when we're doing that, where in our life we're doing that. So no wonder things aren't manifesting. We're just so busy in the commentary. We're editing our life. We're not living it. We are modifying it You know, we're making it to, you know, us be right and somebody be wrong, or vice versa. Oh my God. So just don't, you can do whatever you're going to do. But as Dr. Pillai shares, your spiritual path is as the spirit is moving you in your material world. You don't do it separate. You don't talk about it separate. You don't have to talk about it at all. It's so next to your skin. You don't tell people what underwear you're wearing. So don't, you know, you don't have to reveal your spirit. And miracles, or what your thoughts are about miracles. Because if you're thinking about miracles, then you're not in miracle consciousness. You just have to be in miracle consciousness, right? So whatever happens in your spiritual life, it stays in your spiritual life, right? And you protect it like it's your baby. It's your precious gem. It's you, your highest shiny being that says, I'm not really sure how to navigate in this world. If I get outside of you, I will be fractured from you. You know, you hear about these people with fractured souls. Not to say that's not true, but okay, so where does the fracture go, and how do you fix Humpty Dumpty? How do you get them back together again? So that, you know, is only part and parcel of the story. So then if you can't put yourself back together, you need help. So you don't have to just imagine it happening. You just can be communing with these divine beings and participating in all these services and rituals and fire labs. It's the fastest way, because that's how they talk. That's how they move. That's how they roll. So it's forever. It's a no-brainer. You don't have to think about it. If you're thinking, then you're missing. If you're thinking about God, you've missed. You can't blink, you'll miss. So the God is inside of us, whether you blink or not, you feel it. Right now, I'm so hard, I could just like, you know, it's so much energy coming in, right? So go keep diving into that intelligence. That's intelligence is inside. You don't let anybody use your computer. You know, you don't let them use your phone. You know, it's your private thing. So the intel is inside, it's your private thing. Enough about that. Any other questions? Seems like you had good experiences with Muruga, the axe. So go on to, you know, if that resonated with you here, it just means make it show up in your life. And we have these objects, these products that you can buy, and they'll be totally energized. Like we're getting these mini, like this size veil, and it's a crystal one, right? And this thing came, and when it came, it just was like, it just made my being crystal clear. Like being meaning how I was being, how I am being. Whenever I pick it up, I just go, whoa, that's nice, right? You don't have to wheel it around. You just hold on to it. Hold on to this veil. So having an image, it kind of comes and goes and poof in the air. But if you have an object, you can always pick it up. And then you bring that into your whole being, and it activates the brain to be more receptive to the divine. Oh, here, I forgot to mention this, or now I'll remember. So this is a Saturday. What day is it? What time is it? So Saturday. We already talked about the star, Purvabhadra. Saturday is the day. It's the second moon is a great moon to be thinking about money. So money came in, that kind of conversation came in. And then here, Saturday. So here is a blessing from Lord Saturn. In that this is a Saturn lamp. It's pretty easy to do. It's on a plate, and it has sesame oil and black sesame seeds. And you just light this, and the moment you light it, is so peaceful. You have focus. You have energy. You have infinite patience. You have tolerance. Look at how long you lasted here, right? So you got the blessings of Lord Saturn with this lamp. And it has an Iruku wick. I'll show you what that is. You've done it in previous calls, but I'll do it again because it gets rid of deep-seated negativity. So this is, it looks like straw. It comes from the same, where's my Ganesha? This is a Iruku Ganesha, right? So this is everything, all the spiritual technology is significant. It goes from the physical to the metaphysical. In order for us to make the leap from the physical to the spiritual, the connection, not just the leap, because then, you know, you can lose your footing. So you want to be connected to it. So what you do is you connect with these objects, and then there's an alchemy. So when you burn this wick, usually what I do and what I've done with this particular lamp is I will take a cotton wick. So this is a cotton wick, and this is the Iruku, and I will just twist it. And then I just place it in the dish of this black sesame seeds and the sesame oil, and it just will burn the whole Saturday. Sometimes if there's a lot of karma or if there's yucky energy, then I will just keep filling it up with the ghee, or with the sesame oil, and I'll just be like, wow, Saturn, you're pretty busy, but you're keeping me peaceful and calm and patient, kind and compassionate. Whereas I'd be miserable on a Saturday having to do my laundry and all the yuckies of running around and getting in traffic, parking and grocery shopping, and you know, what a waste of Saturday. Want to have a good time on Saturday. Spiritual practices really do well on Saturday. So it's no wonder people are writing on the chat that they have gone to really deep, beautiful levels, because your focus is there. So Saturn is brilliant. Don't be afraid of Saturn. He wants you to be spiritual. And then he also wants you to work hard in your life. So you'll come away with, hey, I'm going to go do my laundry. I'm going to go clean my house. I'm going to go shopping. I'm going to do the work that I need to finish off. I'm going to enjoy a lovely dinner that I'm going to cook and not just go eat out and eat bad food. It's going to make my stomach all bloaty and miserable. So you have, Saturn wants you to work hard. So let him put you to work. But because you've done your spiritual practices, then everything just unfolds beautifully and you get so much done on a Saturday, such that on Sunday, when you're supposed to rest, you will actually rest and enjoy yourself, right? So Saturn is work, 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 and Sunday is get more light, get more energy, get more intelligence in. And then that will prepare you for the week ahead. So one thing you can do is, people were saying something about here, are there Pillai Center discounts with wealth rising groups for that Ganesha Fire Lab? You know what, you have to send an email to programs@PillaiCenter.com. Definitely there will be some sort of discount. I don't know what the coupon code will be. But there, if you even go now, even to the website, Pillai Center Astrovid, there's some discounts that you can just use those too. But maybe not, because I think, well, yeah, because it's happening tomorrow. So you, for the Runahara, you want to get that in there. If you're going to do it, then do it. And here's the thing, if you can't afford to participate, and you can't afford to even get the little axe, then you can just cut a picture of him out and a picture of the axe and just have that. You know, go on the internet and then download it, print it off, and cut it, and then have it. You know, it's a fourth moon, so what you want to do, you can see the coconut on my, just where I'm pointing behind the picture of Ganesha. You can take a coconut, roll it around and say, this coconut is you, Ganesha. You have to destroy my debts because I can't even afford to participate in these services that are offered. And the food for my soul is, this is what I got. So you have to tell me, you have to do the work for me. So pay, you know, in Canada, they're like $3 now. It's terrible, but it's a great investment in that I probably would have just spent it on a chocolate bar or something. You know, silly that I don't need. And but hey, you know, I like chocolate. Not that I don't really like chocolate. I just use that example. I like ice cream though. People in India will know that I like ice cream. That's another story for another time. But take the coconut and then you just roll it around and you imagine the coconut being Ganesha. And then he's just absorbing all the negativity so you can be your highest self. You can experience being number one. You matter. Everything about you needs to experience success with the divine coming through, as opposed to your limitations that, you know, you're born with. And you cultivate that and you say, that's who I am. This big versus infinite. Hi, who's this? Katya, you want to say something? Katya Vrita? Or did you just unmute yourself? Katya? Okay. I'll just mute you. Do you want to say something, Katya? You're not muting. Okay. So just in case you're doing stuff that you don't want to hear us, then yeah. Okay, so there you go. You're muted. Mute your mic, because otherwise I'll hear you. Anand, are you there? Do you want to say something?
Namaste, Sucharita.
Anand?
Hello, Sucharita.
Hi.
Namaste. Can you hear me?
Namaste, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thanks. And you?
Yeah, good.
Yeah. I heard much about your Indian trip. Yeah. Sucharita, this is regarding Tarpanam.
Uh-huh.
I have a doubt about the ancestral souls because many of the times I have read that souls cannot be constant. They will keep on changing from one body to another. Right?
So what's your doubt? Sorry, what's your question? Sorry, I've got
my
my...
my doubt is the souls of my ancestors, they won't be stagnant there. So they might have already converted into another bodies.
So your question is what?
If I do Tarpanam in their name, so right now they won't be available, is what my doubt.
Okay, so it's hard for me to hear, but I'm going to just go for it. Here's the thing. Your soul, your ancestor's soul is a part of your genes.
Okay.
So whether they go in another body or not, you have a spiritual connection to them.
Okay.
So if they are in a different gene pool in this lifetime, maybe they passed away and then they've decided to come back again and they're in another gene pool. You're going to help them to evolve, because that's what we're here to do. All of us spiritual people on this path, especially on the Siddha path with Dr. Pillai, is that we have the technology that can help the souls here and also the souls who have passed. Because as we evolve, whether we're in the body or outside of the body, a collective consciousness is going to take place where the divine is evolving, the humans are evolving, everyone on the planet is evolving. We'll kind of connect the dots. So don't be too stuck like, oh, well, grandpa is took another birth and, you know, he's no longer a part of our lineage. That's not true.
Okay. Yeah, it's clear now. I had this doubt since 2 or 3 days, and I just wanted to clear it. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome, Anand. And too, you know, every culture has their own way that they do Tarpanam or propitiate the souls that have gone. You know, they have All Souls Day in Christianity, in Orthodox, in Buddhism and Hinduism and all the isms. So again, you know, we're trying to hone in on the technology, like the why of it. So
Yeah.
when you're doing something, an offering, you want to
Mm.
feel it. So
Yes.
that's the best way to navigate the tarpanum, is to feel it. And maybe, you know, Grandpa John will be born into something else, and you'll kind of have hazy memories of him, but maybe
Mm-hmm.
you'll also experience him in, maybe even in your gene pool, but further down the line. And
Yeah.
a lot of us have said, oh my God, she reminds me of her grandmother, or she reminds me of,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So
Yeah.
we share those qualities or those characteristics of those who have gone out of the body
Yes.
still while we're here on the earth.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Very clear. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Anand. Enjoy. And especially during Masimaga, this is a great time.
Hmm?
It's a great window of opportunity to do so much for a lot of ancestors. So not just a few. Even though
Mm-hmm.
on Astrovet or Pillai Center, you're just writing a few that you remember. Like me, I don't remember too many of
Yeah.
the generations. So I just
Okay.
put enough in there, and then I go, okay, you guys are all like forerunners on the ancestral plane. So you guys will find the rest. I'll
Okay.
leave it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Thank you very much.
Masimag, yeah,
Yeah.
do it.
I'll participate. Yeah.
Yeah. Great. Thank you, Anand.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye.
So I'm just doing a little stretch. These long days and nights. Um, so sorry if that looks weird. Okay. So I'm back to normal. Anyone else have any? How many Nambu herbs do you take a day? Says one with food. Would that be with every meal? So here's the thing with the Nambu herbs. I was rooming with Nambu, one of my roommates, during the trip. So she and I just like, she just downloaded me with all this information. And she just said, oh my God, Sucharita, you can't take them all at once. And I said, oh my God, I have been taking them all at once. She's like, what? How are you doing? How's your stomach? How's your head? So for her, she was more intuitive in how she was taking them. Always take it with a little bit of food, even if it's just a little cracker or maybe like a spoonful of ghee or something, you know, that you're kind of like having the herb come in. It's the goddess or the god, so give it something to eat. You know, it's like you're inviting someone, so you know you want to give them something to eat. So, but I take them all at once. I just want to get it over with and done with. So that's me. And I'm like that, all or nothing. So it's been fine for me. I don't recommend it for people who are trying it for the first time. Test it out, because I didn't take them all at once because they weren't all available at once. So over the years, even before it became Nambu herbs and Dr. Pillai was saying, okay, do take Eclipta alba, take the turmeric, take all this stuff. He was blessing it, but it wasn't in a product like it is now, which is way more handy. Because before I was like, ew, I hate the taste of this. You know, mixing it with stuff. And so now I just pop it, I'm done. So that's what I do for the Nambu herbs. I take them all at once, and I think it's 6 or 7 I'm taking, all of them. And so that's how my day starts. I do my pujas and I take my herbs, because I want to have a holistic experience of my pujas, my meditation. So pop the pills, and then I get into that zone, log on to my rituals that don't take very long. So popping the pills takes maybe a minute. Doing my rituals, once I have it all set up, that takes a couple minutes. So I'm pretty much done in about 15 minutes. So if you're thinking, oh my God, you're going to take forever, I don't have forever. I'm on a call till 3 in the morning, and then I'm on a call at 6:30 in the morning, and I'm on a call right now. And so it's been one long call. And so I can attest, this is my testimonial, that the only reason I'm awake and alive and able to do what I'm doing is the herbs and the blessings of Dr. Pillai, because there's no way this 57-year-old will be able to navigate this kind of schedule. And especially coming off a plane and, you know, all the crazy temperatures and seasons and all the rest. So you can take intuitively take what you want to, how you want to do it, you just do it. And then if you want to take them all, if you're an all or nothing kind of person, go for it. If you're not, just start a little at a time. Yes, Roz, 57. God bless these genes. And here's the thing is that we all have ancestors who had beautiful lives, like natural. They lived off, the land, and they ate well, and they, so they were good to their bodies. So when we do the ancestral tarpam, that's what I found, is that I'm getting blessings coming from these beings who are just like lighting up my life and, making me to experience aging in a way that I can't even imagine, and it helps me to choose, how I'm what I'm going to put in my mouth, and like everybody saw me on the trip, they saw me eating and eating and eating, and I was like, why am I eating so much? But now that's all calmed down. I'm back in Canada, and I'm back to normal. But it was, for whatever reason, that's what I did. So it's nice in that the energy of the ancestors, and then the goddesses and the gods coming through these herbs, they're kind of, helping me to navigate in different places and in different ways that I can express myself. So it helps me to stay healthy and young and on the mark wherever I am. So that's such a huge blessing. And of course, Dr. Pillai, when I met him, I was just in a very bad situation, physically and mentally and spiritually, emotionally. I was a mess. I was totally stressed out, and nothing was working in my life, although I'd gone to school and got degrees and all the rest. And I was living the life that everyone told me to live, and it just wasn't working out. I was dead inside. So everything fell apart, and I was looking way older and way more lethargic and just like a worn out rag. And he just went, let me see if I can do something with this. So it is his grace and blessings, really, because there's no way I would have the intelligence to even ask for the support and to even choose the right support to be at this age and stage. Yeah, younger as we age. Well, I'm going for the light body, so I don't know. I don't even know what that is, but I'm just going to keep going for it. And Dr. Pillai has laid the path out, so it's pretty easy. So, it's a no-brainer. In fact, I probably won't need a brain having the light body. So the light body, for those people who are going, what? You're going to be a ghost? Which is what I thought too. And I was like, ooh, that's scary. It's the light body as I know it after all these years and reading all the sacred texts and visiting the different vortices around the world, not only in India, but, high power spots, and communing with these divine beings and having that initiation by Dr. Pillai into those realms, you will find that you are in no pain, no suffering. Even though you're hot and tired and worn out, there's an energy that comes and just is there, and it's it's going to take away pain and suffering, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. So that's the light body. And then the ultimate expression of the light body is, which I'm excited about, is that we'll just think, hey, let's create heaven on earth, and it's created. That would be fun. Where dead bodies can come to life, or dead plants, dead animals, and you're not even thinking about it, or you're just walking by and it's happening. And someone says, oh my God, did you just do that? And you go, what? You won't care. You won't even, because you'll just be in a different state of being that you'll be useful, finally, in a big way. They get used up. People say, oh, I don't want to be used. So many people use me. And Dr. Pillai always says, it's better to be used to be useful than to be useless. So how has he laid out the path? Is there a course that we can take for the light body? Yeah, there's lots of light body courses. I'm doing the mini mystery school. So take that course. It's a live course and it's starting tomorrow. So you can sign up for that, and then you will be in the realm of the mysteries that will be revealed. And then there are also light body courses that you can take through Pillai Center Academy, and that will help you to understand more of the light body. They've already been done live, so there'll be evergreens, and you can just do a self-study. But sometimes that can be a little bit tricky because it's like, you know, book stuff. You open the book and you're doing it, but you're not really sure because you're not really interacting with anyone. So I would say, Elizabeth, or any of you, the others who are interested in exploring that and those realms is in the now, which is perfect because it's the right now, it's the right time, is to, you know, sign up for the mini mystery school, where we'll get the teachings from that we'll get the essence of the teachings that the year-long program members are getting in their program. And so we'll have fun. So I would do that for those of you who are like, hey, what is she talking about? You have to experience it. You can't just say, I know God, because that's just from here up. This path of the citizens, hey, you want God to be in every cell of your being. You want it to transmute or transmorph or whatever it does. It just, you know, even the saints, when they're on the earth plane, they go to the temples or to these vortices. And they, in fact, when their time is up, like Christ, you just disappear. You merge with physically, people will see you and snap and go, my God, 1 minute you're there and the next second you're gone, right? So that's when you know you've done everything you've done. The soul has evolved to do over millions and millions of lifetimes. Man, we're tired, aren't we? Can I say more about the mini mystery school? To tell you the truth, no. Because I haven't even looked at it yet. I was just asked to do it. But if you go on to Pillai Center Academy, you can read about it. And then Pillai Center, you can read about it. But again, what I do know about it is it's grabbing the essence of the teachings from the mystery school that everyone is enrolled in at a very high price point every month. But we're going to get it for a very low price point. Someone was saying last night that it was $97, which is like a couple bags of groceries. Not much, right? You know, a few Starbucks in a week. So you just, that's a better investment for you to explore the mysteries of yourself. The schooling is of you. It's not, the teaching is going to get you into you and explore the mysteries that get revealed to you. And that's what's exciting, because who wants to know about stuff that you can just read about? I want to feel it. I want to be with you, Lord. I want to sing George Harrison's song. Roger says, question, I had my astrology reading done and they said that my Kundalini cosmic egg is cracked, but my Kundalini hasn't risen yet. What would you suggest for rising it? Get into the mini mystery school. You know, I would say go get into a course where you explore it. So here it is, the astrology, the seeing into your life is getting a snapshot. Okay, so it's seeing something about you, your evolution, your path that you're taking. You got this chart, here's your roadmap, this is who I am, this is the mechanics of me, this is how I relate to planets and stuff. Now you want to go into the deeper part of you. So you immerse yourself in if you're saying that you're talking about Kundalini, that's all spiritual stuff. So it's not like you're talking about, I don't know, cracking an egg and making an omelet, like material stuff, and learning how to cook and maybe take a cooking class, right? If you're not a good chef or you don't know how to cook an omelet. So cracking your Kundalini, you got to go into a program where you crack it and feel it. So the mystery school is the latest and greatest that Dr. Pillai has shared. If you can go to Guru Purnima, then in July, put your pennies away or dollars away and start doing that, because you will get a crack open of your Kundalini there, a big one. But in the meantime, you have to work at it. Otherwise, it's going to be like, oh, I don't really know what happened. Yeah, great, Roger. So we'll see you there. You're in mini mystery school. So why are you asking me? You're already there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm glad you did ask it, because people will get these interesting comments from the astrologers. Like, who would have thought somebody would have said my Kundalini needs to be cracked open in an astrology consultation? Don't they just talk about planets? No, if you're evolved to that level, that subtle level, they'll kind of like, okay, here's where this is, but let's go here because this is more interesting for this soul. And then you will get that information. And then it will be like, it will make the light go off and you'll be in the right place at the right time. It's kind of like a confirmation that you're aligned with the stars. The star of the show is you. Yeah, Gia is saying it's a Guru Purnima in London. I heard it is in London. So fabulous. Let's go to London and visit the Queen, or be a queen in London. That would be fun. So when does it start? So Jackie's saying, when does it start? Oh, gee, I'd love to meet you. Yeah, I would love to go too and see you and Roz too. Everybody. So Guru Purnima is the first full moon of the month of July. So just, oh, I have my calendar. I can look it up. So bear with me. If I didn't answer any of your questions on chat, can you copy and paste it from wherever it is? Oh, you're coming into mini mystery school, Jackie. Yay. So June, July. Okay, so Guru Purnima is on the 27th. So it's the full moon. I've already got it. So it's right here. Oh, there. That's where my finger is. So it's the 27th. Okay. So you got about 5 months, 6 months to get your finances, put that into your savings. And that's something worthwhile to save, because when we try to save, we'll dip into it and we'll spend it on stuff. But if we say, this is for my spiritual path, this is for my initiation, this is gonna crack me open. I've been working on my Kundalini, I've been working on my meditations, and nothing is doing it. So you want to be with the guru to get the guru's grace. And it's not just Dr. Pillai, it's all the gurus. Whether they're on other planes or on this plane, they come and they say, okay, who's ready? And then if you're with a master, X marks the spot, there you are. You're in the right place at the right time. So they just pour the blessings, pour and pour and pour. Just like when we went to India, who knew, you know, but the grace and blessings of a great guru are on his birthday. He only wants to give. You can't give him anything. In fact, people couldn't give him gifts. He just was like giving it away to somebody else. He'll accept it and then he'll just give it to somebody who needs it. So he'll just say, you know, give it to Tripura Foundation. That's where his love is, and to raise the consciousness of people who just have no hope in hell, you know. So Guru Purnima is the next big initiation. He might be doing seminars in places like New York or something like that. That's okay. You can go to that as well. But the two windows of time of the year are his birthday, which is kind of like 6 months apart. So it's nice that way, because you can say, okay, I'd love to go to India, or I'd love to go to wherever he's going. Sometimes he's going to Cambodia, Egypt, so on. Just wherever God wants him to be on his birthday. And then what needs to be open, and then the people who are going to come are supposed to be there. So not to say if you didn't go in physical, you couldn't participate proxy, because man, people get tremendous blessings by proxy. I've experienced both, in person and proxy. So you'll get what you get. So you can have that open up. For you, crack your cosmic egg. Get prepared to crack it, because you just want it to be like a rather than a so I think that's it as far as the chat goes. Anyone else have any pressing questions or comments or shared experiences? If you don't want to share here, then you definitely can send an email to
Hi,
Power.
Sucharita.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Indrani.
Oh, Andrani, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm my friend from London.
Oh, no. I'm so excited that Baba might be here for Guru Purnima. That's really amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to ask actually about the mini mystery school. Now, I remember when I did mystery school, I think it was a year ago or something like that. There was a lot of really great remedies that were done on our behalf in various places around India. Would there be any of those kind of remedies done for us with mini mystery school?
Let me check into that. It's a good question, and maybe there'll be some add-ons. But in your case, I would say if there are add-ons and it adds up to a monthly amount that you could do the long, like the year-long mystery school, get into that. Because
So
here's the thing.
It's not too late to join. Like I could join the mystery school now. Do you mean the full program now?
Yeah, you just call me and I'll get you in. Send me an email.
Okay.
And I've got to talk to you anyways, Indrani, so let's set up a time.
Okay, super, great. Okay, thanks very much, Sucharita. I'll talk to you then.
Thank you. And I just wanted to share Indrani's little story. Indrani means queen, and Dr. Pillai had given it to her when she went on a destiny-changing India trip. We had already been on an India trip. She was on her way home, and then he called her back, and she turned around and came back, and her whole
didn't even have
destiny.
luggage.
Yeah, you tell the story, Indrani. I thought you were jumped.
No, so I'd actually been home for a day or two and my luggage still hadn't arrived because I had to switch flights and change planes and stuff like that. And so I got the call and had to move heaven and earth literally, including getting a last minute visa from Toronto to India and having to stand in line and argue with the consulate and everything like that in India to get I had to go through so much and I still didn't have my luggage, but I pulled everything together and got on the plane and flew back to India and did this destiny changing special invitation only program. And I was so shocked when I saw Bubba there. I said, "Are you sure you meant me?" Like, because my Christian name is Colleen Wells and there's another devotee whose name is also Colleen Wells. And I thought for sure he meant the other Colleen Wells. And he said to me, no, I did mean you. I did mean you. And one of the stops that we had was in Pondicherry, and it was on a like a driveway in a hotel in Pondicherry that I asked him what my spiritual name is after having been a student of his for about 5 years. And he gave me the name Indrani, which is Queen of Heaven. And it's Indra's wife, or Indra's consort. And Indra is the King of Heaven. And as his consort, Indrani is the Queen of Heaven. Was there something else that you wanted me to share, Sucharita?
So why did you move to London?
I was in this program with Baba in India, and one of the things that he said was, it was in one of those conference rooms right at Arunachala, and he said, if you want to change your karma, move. And I thought, oh, I'm going to do that. I am going to move. But in living in Toronto, I had moved all over Toronto and lived everywhere I could think of in Toronto. And my brother had moved to London a few years before, and so I was inspired by him. And I have my mother's Irish ancestry, so I got my Irish passport, got all my paperwork together. I quit my job, and I moved over here. And I think I knew 2 people at the time, and one of them has since left the UK, or she left shortly after I got here. And that was about 4 years ago. And I also did this at the beginning of my Sati Sate 7 years of Saturn lessons, we could call them. And yeah, what else did you want me to share about that, Sucharita?
Well, it's interesting because Dr. Pillai changed your destiny. He gave you a name that means the Queen of Heaven, and here you go to where the Queen of the Earth is. He doesn't do things little, right? He puts the consciousness in us. And if you're awake and you're alert to it, you will see that you escape the clutches of Saturn, where you were of 7.5 years could have been very grueling and very, challenging and very dull, like dragging you because it's same old, same old. And here you had to work hard. Saturn made you to go to work in London, but now he's made you the queen, in London of your life, in a whole new life.
Mm-hmm. And it was with, I had a lot of challenges, as you know very well, at the very beginning. And for the first 3 years that I lived here, a lot of challenges. And I was about to give up so many times. And there was this one point where I actually had run out of money. I had been sacked from my job, and I was looking for another job. And I remember being on a call with Hanuman Das and yourself, and Hanuman Das said, just wait one more month and things will change. And it was pure and utter faith. And, faith, Baba says, is utter positivity. It truly was utter positivity. And I went to a pawn shop and pawned my jewelry. That was all I had left. I had no credit card. I think I had maxed out my credit cards or something like that, but I really literally had nothing left. I went and I pawned my jewelry, got enough money to keep me going for a couple of more months. And then I got a job, and things turned around from that point forward. It wasn't that I didn't still have challenges. I still did have some crazy challenges, but it's something that you and I have spoken about so many times, is that utter positivity, and also my spiritual practices was actually what had me keep myself together and had me continue to keep going and wanting to realize my dream of living here. And I now live here in this fabulous flat in London. I work in this great job that I just started about 3-4 months ago. And I work across the street from the Tower of London, which is where the crown jewels, the Queen's crown jewels, are stored.
So you pawned off your jewelry and you got the Queen's crown jewels.
Right? I know, right?
It's a great story. But this is life. Like, your life can be an adventure. And it can be like you're the same age as me, Indrani, and you look awesome as well. And here you are, you're all regal, and you have this whole new life, but people would start retiring, at our age.
I just saw a message pop up on the chat from the only other person that I knew when I moved to London, Regini, who I haven't had a chance to speak with in quite a while, but she was one of the other 2 people that I knew, and was so supportive of me when I came over and didn't know my way around and couldn't find, I remember calling her up and saying, can you take me to a temple? I have to crack some coconuts. Those were the kind of things I did, to make it through.
It's a beautiful sharing, and I'm so glad that you have opened it up, because it's something that we all need to crack our egg open, as Dr. Pillai shared. And Regini was on our trip recently in India. So hi, Regini. Again, we walked around Arunachala together at 3 a.m. in our bare feet, and it was just awesome. It's like, whoa, this is so cool. And so it's life becomes an adventure. It doesn't matter how old you think you are or how young you are. We had mothers and fathers, and they brought their kids, so we've had, and then there's people who are like our age and then older. So, and people who were, struggling walking, and they just knew that the spirit, their life was going to change. And it's great to hear your story. And there's so much more to your story. You could write a book and make a movie. It's so awesome. So, so thanks so much for sharing, Indrani, and definitely we need to get together.
We will.
Okay.
Thanks, Suchita.
Thank you so much. We'll see you in the mystery school. Yeah. Okay. So Regini, hi, beautiful. What a blessing time. Yes, it was. It was a blessing to spend time with you too, and everybody in India. And I hope to meet more of you here, all the listeners out here, participants in this program and other programs as well, because it's an incredible journey to be on with Dr. Pillai. And over the years, we come to know one another, and it's like old souls just coming home and feeling that enlightenment and being able to just be with it, not talk about it, or just, not try to figure it out. It's just like, wow, we get to just live it, because in our lives, sometimes we're bumping up against people who don't understand us, or, like, whoa, what planet are you from? So we get to meet our planetary friends from this planet and other realms, and, certainly enjoy the blessings coming from Dr. Pillai. So Karen, Mini Mystery School should be on Pillai Center Academy or PillaiCenter.com. I'm sorry, I don't have it handy. If someone does, could you please post it? I could try. Okay, maybe this will do it. So, programs. Okay, so what you do is you go to Pillai Center and click on programs, which is the third tab over, and then Mini Mystery School, and I am going to give you the link. Chat. Thank you everyone for your patience, kindness, and compassion. It's Saturday. Okay, there we go. That wasn't too hard. Come on, what else do you want me to do, you guys?
Hey, Sucharita, can you hear me?
Jackie, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, good. Nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, so happy that you're back. I hope you had a wonderful trip.
Awesome, thank you.
Yeah, so I was just curious, when does the Mini Mystery School start? And then secondly, I'm in the Wealth Rising Silver. Do you think I should, can I do both courses at the same time? What are your thoughts?
Okay. Absolutely. I'm doing both courses, so you can.
Okay.
I'm doing a lot of courses. And here's the thing, Jackie. It starts on Sunday, apparently, because I have to start it. So it's going to be happening on Sunday. That'll be the first day, the launch. And then you can definitely do what is happening in silver, Wealth Rising Silver or gold, because we've been doing the same teaching. So you're just adding that to your practice. So what Dr. Pillai shared during the India trip was allow. It's like you go to a university, you go to take this course at this time and then another course. You're doing your higher education. So you're taking multiple courses because you're a multi-dimensional being. So you're not just like this. You have multifaceted. So you're taking care of all the aspects of your life. Just like in life, you have an accountant, you have a banker, you have a doctor, you have a lawyer, you have a dentist. These are all the things that the people or the services that you need in case something happens to you, or you need support, or you need to be enlightened about something, you need the medicine, you need whatever, advice. So the courses at Pillai Center Academy are much like that, where if you're drawn, something inside of you is saying, hey, take a look into this. It's like, I should go see my doctor. I haven't seen them in a while. Or I should go to my dentist. Or, when's my next appointment? So that doesn't mean that you have to, immerse yourself in the dentist or the doctor or lawyer or whatever. Just like Pillai Center, you're going to grasp that teaching. And that teaching for you is going to be what you need to do as you're moving along. If you're brand new, I would say don't go too thin, but if you've got a grasp of the teachings in Wealth Rising Silver or Gold or whatever program you're in, you can just have that ongoing, even just Shri Mrazi, because you've been initiated in, the foundation is laid. Now you're working more on creating or cultivating that energy. So having the mystery school might help you to go deeper into it in a different way that's not so mechanical, or I don't want to say it's superficial, but it's a different energy, you know. So you could take it. If
Okay.
you, yeah, and then it's going to be just simple, like, you know, 20 minutes max, 10 minutes, you know, or you get the teaching and then it's so profound for the whole week, it carries you out the whole week. You come together as a group, it fills you up, you know. So most of us who are taking so many programs, it's kind of like going to university. You're just used to taking courses.
Sure. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Jackie. It's a higher education. It's the highest education. So why not do it, right? You don't have time
Right.
to waste. I don't have time to waste. So thank you, Jackie.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So MMS is awesome. There can never be any regrets for taking it. I felt the energy from day one. I signed up and went through the course on my own. It is a definite wow. Great. Thank you so much for your sharing. I think that's a lot. Is there a coupon code to enter for the mini mystery school? Well, you're going to have to send an email to programs@PillaiCenter.com. Don't send it to me because I won't know. So send it to programs@PillaiCenter.com. And that's where you can get all your general questions answered about things that I don't know about. I'm not sending you off and saying, hey, I just don't know. Okay. You're welcome. All right. Anything else, everyone? We've made up for last week and then some. So that's how the divine rolls. And that's how we roll here at Pillai Center. So hopefully you all enjoyed a fabulous, fun-filled adventure today in consciousness and diving into yourself, your highest self, and then allowing that energy now to come to the surface and in everything that you do. So Saturday is a great day to get a lot done. And it's also a day to be super lazy. So you choose how you're going to roll with Saturn, because Saturn will make you feel miserable. If you're lazy and you don't do anything, and it's just going to pile up, and then Sunday's going to be your rest day and your, you know, enjoyment day, and you'll just be like trudging through, and it's like, oh. So that's where you're playing on the other side of Saturn. So Saturn puts you to work and just go do what you need to do, and then you'll feel, maybe you'll be inspired with mantras playing while you work, or a meditation playing while you work, and you're going, oh wow, I usually fall asleep during that part, but now I see where you took me through that meditation, where Dr. Pillai took them through the meditation. I do that a lot. I listen to them when I'm not in a meditative state and I'm doing other things. I'm going, oh wow, I didn't even know he said that. Whoa, where did I go? So it's always kind of fun to have it playing while you're working or while you're just doing other things, cooking, you know, cleaning, and get some exercise, you know, get this body moving so all this spiritual energy has a place to move. Okay. Oh, April is saying it's Lunar New Year, Chinese New Year for the Chinese worldwide, which started recent Friday. And I think it's the year of the dog, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, or maybe I am, I don't know. But, you know, check that out. See what the secret is or the mystery is behind that symbol. And then see if that's the energy of the year. We're tapping into the vortex. This has nothing to do with belief. It's just, hey, what else is going on? What other pearls or gems can I draw from this technology coming through the Chinese astrology? So Roz is saying it's the earth dog. Cool. So we'll see what happens when you just go and Google it, everyone. Tap your third eye. Here's the thing. Simple teaching. This is for anything. So tap your third eye just a few times. And then you can say Om or Shreem Brazi, and then go to Google or your favorite search engine, and then just type in, you're the dog, you're the earth dog, and see intuitively, use your gut. And then your gut will say, I'm God, good idea. And then you will get the information that is for you at this point in time. It's not the end all be all, but you're going to munch on this and understand it and feel good about it. So that's how you want to live the divine. Don't put your spiritual practices, on a shelf and take it off when you have to put your headset on and, stow away in your little compartmental room so nobody's looking, It's, do it every day, do it in every moment. And then what you'll find is that story you were telling yourself about you and other people is just an old story. It doesn't exist anymore. And you go, wow, that's a miracle. So be receptive to the miracles and everything else that is happening. Okay, are we done? I think I need to go get something to eat. Maybe some ice cream. No, I'm going to be good because it's Saturday and I'm disciplined. Ragini will go, oh, Suchucha, if I was there, I'd take you for an ice cream. So let's wrap it up. Have a beautiful rest of your weekend. We'll see you in the Mystery School or in Wealth Rising or both. And maybe we'll see you in Mini Mystery School. We will see you throughout the week and participate in the services that we shared about. Even if you're just reading about it and you happen to be on that day, you mark it in your calendar, and that energy, the blessings will come to you. And you just say, I need your blessings. I need to get whatever the divine wants me to get out of this, and then have it show up in your life. And then pray for money. We need money to navigate in this world. It's a must. And that's why Dr. Pillai is such a great teacher on the spiritual path, because he knows that you can't just space out. It's not going to put the roof over your head and the food in your belly that you need. That was some of their lifetime. So it's just a memory. It doesn't work anymore. It's not that you can't do it. Please go to the Himalayas if you want, but you'll be back soon enough. Bugs and all bad food. And not to say that everyone is, but that's been a lot of our experiences with Dr. Pillai over the years. Please just send us, and we go, and we're like, oh my God, I want to go back home. He kind of does that for us. All right. So bless you all. Thank you all for joining. And this makeup session has been such a beautiful experience for all of us. And all you shiny, bright beings, continue to shine in your life. And then we'll see you next time, whenever that is. God bless you. And God bless Dr. Pillai. Happy birthday for him today. And that the blessings continue to unfold in each and every one of us. Namaste.